pretty much back for 2026. The shackles of winter are now behind us, and we start looking forward to the start of another titanic season, and it's just a few weeks away. The last weekend of February in Thailand is exactly when we go green. You're joining myself, Kiko Giles. Before all of that, of course, we do have all of the team launches and indeed the official championship launch itself. Last year it was in Bangkok. This year it's in another absolute stunner of a Southeast Asian city, and it's Kuala Lumpur. All of that is still to come, plus 22 Grand Prix, as well as a returning country. Don't forget, we go to Brazil this season. That's round 2 on our 2026 calendar. Talking of calendars, we do have the team's calendar coming up for what is a jam-packed pre-season. I've got to say, it all gets underway today in just a few moments time really, with Prima Pramac. Then it's on to VR46 tomorrow and Aprilia on Thursday. I'm here for all of them. Then it is Ducati up in Madonna di Campiglio, Yamaha, Trackhouse from Milan, the Red Bull KTM teams, both the factory team and Tech 3 on the 27th of January. The last day of the month is Gresini. Then we're into testing. We'll have LCR Honda and, of course, the factory Honda later on in the whole calendar in terms of the team's presentation. That's the 2nd of February. But today, it is Pramac's Day. And, well, what an exciting lineup it is. Jack Miller stays at Pramac for 2026. Then, alongside him, it is going to be absolutely brilliant, breathtaking. It's what us fans have wanted for so long. It is Toprak Razgatlioglu who makes his move over from World Superbike to MotoGP. Don't forget, you can get your questions sent in and your comments sent in. As you can see, that's Eril Göktep 38. Let's go indeed. It's been the busiest season last year, but that didn't mean that winter didn't feel just that little bit too long. First time watching MotoGP, the 1X9B. Welcome. Great to have you with us, and this is just the start of what is going to be a jam-packed season. Get that fridge pulled closer. Rookie of the Year, who is that going to go to, I wonder? Of course, Toprak Razgatlioglu is one of 2 rookies on the grid this year. He's in Yamaha with the Prima Pramac team. Diogo Moreira joining forces with the LCR Honda team. Toprak, skull emojis, or is that alien emojis? I suppose it is because of the celebration back in 2024 at the Jerez Superbikes, plus a load of fire. Yeah, I think we can all agree that Toprak is going to be quite special to watch. We've already had one stoppie from him, of course. That was back in the Valencia test at the end of 2025 on a very, very cold Tuesday down there at the Ricardo Tormo circuit. As I said, it is all about Pramac, and I can tell you they are kicking things off with some style. We are in Siena. Well, I'm not. I'm in MotoGP HQ in Barcelona, but we are in Siena, where we will be able to join Chris Jordan right now. I can tell you that's not his house. Chris Jordan, MotoGP reporter, live from Siena. What a setting for a team launch.
Well, all going well, but welcome to Siena. We're setting up here in the historic medieval centre, the Piazza del Campo, and that, as you referred to, my future house, is the Palazzo Pubblico. And the reason we've set up here is because this is a city that is steeped in racing history. Not one that we're quite used to, of course, but the Palio di Siena is one of the most famed horse races across the world, and it takes place on these very streets just out here, the cobblestone streets. Thousands of fans pack into this square to watch us. We have 10 jockeys on 10 horses riding bareback for 3 laps. It is as manic as it is exciting and brilliant. But today, Siena trades in our four-legged friends for something with a little bit more horsepower, and that is, of course, the Prima Pramac presentation for MotoGP 2026 campaign. And it is a highly anticipated campaign for Prima Pramac, it has to be said. As you mentioned already, Jack Miller returns to the fold, and He is now, by my count, the second most experienced rider on the grid. The next time he lines out in Thailand, that will be his 200th appearance in the Premier class, and he will need that wealth of experience to help bring Yamaha back to the fore, particularly as they change over to the V4 engine this year. Then on the other side of the box, one of the most highly anticipated moves in MotoGP history has finally come to fruition. Toprak Razgatlioglu is on the other side of that Pramac Yamaha box, and well, as you already mentioned, he is blockbuster on two wheels. But Kiko, the big question is, can he do it on the biggest stage of all?
For all of that, it's going to be an absolutely miraculous season in the hands of Toprak, and of course Jack Miller, as you say now, one of the most experienced riders on the grid, and it is going to be a 200 start next time out in Thailand. Don't forget how good he started last year and his chapter in Prima Pramac Yamaha Purple. As you can see, I mentioned earlier about Kuala Lumpur. It welcomes MotoGP with open arms, and it starts here, 7th of February. Make sure you're following that live via MotoGP, or even better, get there arena side. It's going to be something pretty spectacular in the heart of KLCC, the 2026 MotoGP launch, following on from last year's great success of Bangkok, of course, in Thailand. Our poll is open, as you can see at the bottom of your screen. Which rider will you be supporting more in 2026? Toprak Razgatlioglu or Jack Miller? Just a quick one. You'll notice, if you were a keen, eagle-eyed viewer and fan from last year, we had A and B. We haven't got A and B this year. That's because our system does only calculate the name. So make sure, if you do want your vote to be counted, only put Toprak Razgatlioglu or Jack Miller, or in the case that you want to sit on the fence, you can actually vote for both, I'm sure. But who is Toprak Razgatlioglu, this mysterious, magical rider who's coming over from World Superbike? Well, I can tell you he's a 3-time world champion, and this is how he achieved his third last year.
Toprak Razgatlioglu now chases back-to-back titles. Toprak Razgatlioglu's gone straight on.
No points on Sunday for Razgatlioglu.
Razgatlioglu wins 3 in Portugal. Toprak can only take 4th place.
I'm not feeling like last year.
Toprak Razgatlioglu is denied on the line.
I need to give something to BMW before the move to MotoGP.
Razgatlioglu reignites the title fight. Hat-trick hero in Misano. Toprak is your championship leader.
I'm really happy I did the hat-trick.
And now it's going to be a 3rd consecutive hat-trick. 12 races unbeaten. Razgatlioglu, his 13th consecutive victory, his first here in Motorland Aragon. Toprak Razgatlioglu signs off from World SBK as only the 4th ever 3-time World SBK champion.
Oh, he's magical, isn't he, on a motorcycle? Oh, I can't wait. Someone get us to Thailand and Buriram now, please, because it is going to be absolutely spectacular. Which rider will you be supporting more in 2026? I suppose there's not such a big surprise, given how passionate the Turkish fans are, that we do have that live poll. It is interacting on your screens right now. 67%, 33%, of course, supporting Jack Miller, and we will come on to talk about Jack Miller very soon. But let's first just digest a little bit of Toprak. He's already had a couple of MotoGP outings on the most revised bike, of course, back in Valencia. He did have a test a couple of years ago in Jerez, if you remember, back when Lynn Jarvis was at the helm for Yamaha. It didn't quite work out that time when Toprak was already in the Yamaha family, but back in World Superbike. But we're talking about a rider who, let's be honest, World Superbike is going to be a poorer place without him. But World Superbike also was just becoming, I won't say easy, but he'd achieved everything that was going for him there. He'd taken BMW to that first world title. He backed it up the following year, which is last year. In those 2 seasons at BMW, he set the record quite literally straight for the amount of consecutive wins, 13 in a row in 2024 and in 2025. So there's no doubting Toprak's talent and ability. Lots of people questioning whether or not he'll be able to adapt to MotoGP and the demands of a MotoGP bike, whether or not that style that we see, that hard braking style, is going to be able to work. I suppose only time will tell, but Toprak has already been in fine form. Someone else who is in fine form, I can tell you, is Chris Jordan. He's still there with us. We are just moments away from Prima Pramac's launch in Siena. Let's get to Siena.
Welcome back. We're just parked outside now the Kijana Musical Academy, and this is where the presentation is. It's an absolutely stunning, it's a stunning building, it has to be said, steeped in history. And while on the topic of history, let's take a little look at some of Pramac's. They have laid out some of their best leathers from the years gone by. I just want to take a look at one or two before I throw it back to Kiko. A little bit of a pop quiz maybe for our fans, if they can recognize some of.
Oh, he seems to have lost signal, but I can tell you that's Makoto Tamada, I reckon, from around 2003, 2004, perhaps. So that was back in the days when Pramac actually started with Honda, so a long time ago. I can tell you, because I have seen some little snippets, of course, from behind the scenes, there is an unbelievable amount of special leathers from Prima Pramac, Ducati, Yamaha, Honda, throughout their history. We're talking, remember, back to when Andrea Iannone, Johnny Hernandez used to race for them, all the way up to that fantastic black and yellow livery Mugello from 2019. Can't wait for the season to start. I wholeheartedly agree. Don't get me wrong, after doing 22 rounds last year, I was quite welcoming of winter, but I can't wait to get going again in Thailand for the start of what is a phenomenal 2026. The last one before all the regs change in 2027. This season is going to be really great. I definitely share that sentiment. Let's get back to Chris. I think we've got you now. Chris, take it away.
Great to make a connection with you guys again. I think we just lost a little bit in the tunnel, but there are a couple more here. There was one I wanted to point out just over my right hand shoulder here, of course, is Jorge Martin's 2024 Catalan GP leather from his World Championship winning year. So as you mentioned, I could hear you talking over there. There were some absolutely stunning leathers here on show. We have a few of Jack Miller's, Oliveira's. We have a Scott Redding leather down there as well. So lots of history here. We need to wait and see what 2026 will look like, but we don't need to wait long. Passing back to you, Kiko.
We are going to be absolutely enthused to see what Toprak and, of course, Jack Miller can do. We said we'd come on to Jack Miller. Best result of 5th last year in the Grand Prix of the Americas in Kota, those tricky, dodgy conditions. He had plenty of qualifyings up inside the top 10. Jack Miller has a lot of experience. Don't forget, he came into MotoGP on a Honda, then moved on to Ducati, then moved on to KTM, and now finds himself spearheading the development, you've got to say, for the V4 Yamaha. He's the only rider there who will have previous experience of a V4. Fabio Quartararo, of course, never has. Alex Rins briefly at Honda, but in terms of sustained, valuable experience, Jack Miller is the one who leads the way in that. And he said straight away coming into last year that the Prima Pramac team, it is like a family. It feels like a family, and it really does give him some confidence and a happy place where perhaps Jack Miller could come out the crate fighting very, very strongly. just to nip back into Toprak Razgatlioglu if we can. Toprak, of course, coming from a cross-plane crank inline for it, Yamaha, when he was on a superbike, into a traditional Screamer inline 4. He's never ridden a V4 engine configuration. So this is going to be a whole new challenge. Not only does he have to adapt, even if it is just for a year, to the Michelin tyres, to this version of the V4 Yamaha before we see all the regs change, the circuits. He's got a lot to deal with, but this is a whole new learning curve in terms of a V4 engine kind of characteristics and what that kind of means. So a lot to keep an eye on for Toprak coming all the way through in 2026. I hope Yamaha have more power than last year. That sentiment, I reckon, is definitely being shared right across the Iwata manufacturer, from its engineers to its riders, its test teams, and all, of course, the technical staff within the company. Watching MotoGP with my dad is the best way to spend my time. That is Sherry Games Corp. Yeah, I can't think of a better way for 22 weekends a year than to spend time watching MotoGP on a sofa on a Sunday, and of course on a Saturday, because Sprint Saturdays are the first little teaser of what we get throughout the course of a Grand Prix weekend. These are live shots over in Siena in Italy. You can see there Jack Miller and Toprak Razgatlioglu. They're just gearing up and getting prepped for the final few moments before they make their way on stage. There is some sort of concert going on over there at the moment. We will pick it up as soon as the ceremony gets underway about the race team itself. But Jack Miller back for another season. A lot of doubt was whether or not he would be able to come back in 2026, not because of any injury, whether or not he was wanted, because of course Prima Pramac were trying to accommodate him and everyone else, it seemed. The silly season went into overdrive a little bit last year. But Miller's back, and I saw a comment earlier, Viva Miller. Which rider will you be supporting more in 2026? I believe that's the final result. 76% for Toprak, so more than 3/4 of you are supporting Turkey's first ever MotoGP rider. 24% of you are electing to follow Jack Miller throughout the course of 2026. Don't forget, we will be in Australia towards the end of this season as well, in October, the 3rd weekend of October. So any fans of you down there in Australia will be able to enjoy the presence of Jack Miller, and it really didn't look that bad last year in 2025, apart from Sunday's unfortunate crash out of contention. We're looking at Jack Miller right here. Will Toprak outperform Jack? I don't want to really judge anything too much at the moment, mainly because we have very limited information on how good the V4 is, how good Toprak is, his adaptation to MotoGP, how it's going. What we are going to bring you, though, is the first interview of Toprak Razgatlioglu as a MotoGP rider. Of course, you all know him from World Superbikes, I'm sure, those of you who follow. Viva Miller, Viva El Turco, Viva Pramac. I tell you what, if there was one job in the MotoGP paddock that I'd quite fancy this year if I wasn't already there, it'd be to be in charge of the content creation and the press stuff of Jack Miller and Toprak Razgatlioglu. It's going to be one heck of a job, but it's going to be a fun one. You just know that is going to be charisma galore. Cheering on Toprak and Jack, and I believe that's the Argentinian flag. So bienvenidos, enjoy the first team launch of MotoGP in 2026. Shame not to be owned to Argentina this year. We'll be back in 2027 though. Toprak and Miller, it's the best. I've got to say, it's definitely one of the funniest lineups in terms of humour on the MotoGP grid. I really can't wait to see how it all pans out. Vamos Toprak, king of stoppies. Yeah, I agree there as well. We've only had one though so far. I'm sure we're going to get a few more. Note that the 54 is gone. That is in the hands of Fermin Aldeguer. The 07 is what Toprak is going to be riding with in 2026. So just keep an eye on that. Welcome to all MotoGP new fans. You're welcome. It's the most exciting sport on planet Earth. I tell you what, it's better you guys say it, otherwise people don't actually believe me. I can't agree with you more. It really is the most exciting sport on earth, from TV or from trackside. It is phenomenal. Let's go 2026. Can't wait to get into it, and I don't think we are that far away at all. Toprak Razgatlioglu, we are going to see him in MotoGP leathers, full leathers, not those testing leathers, those wonderful testing leathers, right on cue with the Turkish flag sprawled right across. We are going to be very close to seeing what he looks like in official Prima Pramac colours. These are shots from the test at the end of 2025 on a very cold and slightly damp Riccardo Tormo circuit. And Toprak getting rolled out on that V4 Yamaha. Oh, it's going to be so exciting to see how he goes. Of course, he wasn't pushing probably to the absolute limit, but he was definitely still finding his feet. Yamaha stayed on for a couple of days after this test, and from what I heard, it seemed like Toprak was quite quick in them. So perhaps what we're showing you now, because they carried on in a private test, not the official end-of-year test, perhaps what you're seeing now could well be already very, very outdated. Can't wait to get to Sepang to see how Toprak goes there. By my reckoning, Toprak's never been to Sepang, so it's going to be an all-new track for him to learn. Hoping for the best for both Toprak. Oh, we didn't quite get the end of that, but I presume the rest of it said Jack Miller for 2026. Right back there. Thank you very much. Looking forward to see more Toprak actions. Here's one of them. This is from the test. I thought we were going to get the stoppie. Never mind. Showed who I am. Unfortunate stuff there. I think it is going to be played very, very soon. Can't wait to see what we get. These are back live shots now. We're over in Siena. Of course, Chris was telling us earlier about that historic horse race, and I'm so glad. I do appreciate a good pun. So glad he mentioned a transition from horses to horsepower, and what we're about to see here in Siena coming up in a few moments' time. Jack Miller there, as you can see, just chatting away. That's his helmet there. Toprak sat down just a little bit more behind on the right hand side, in the middle of the shot, I suppose you could say, in comparison to where the team coordinator Roma Lopez is. But looks like we are gearing up to get moving very, very soon, and it is a lineup which I really can't wait. If you can't tell already, I suppose we're in for what is a very lovely but similar livery. I quite like how it's faded. We can already see the leathers there. But I just can't wait to go green. I have been in the World Superbike paddock for a good number of years. I know Toprak relatively well, and I know that this is what so many fans wanted in Superbike and in MotoGP. They want to see the best in the world on MotoGP machinery. Toprak's up there, and I know Toprak, perhaps he wanted to get it over the line in 2024 in terms of the title in Superbikes with two different manufacturers. He got it again last year. He's coming to MotoGP as a three-time World Superbike champion. They don't give titles away over there. Turkish fans will watch MotoGP very excitedly this year. That is absolutely for sure true. It's been a long time since Turkey's had a lot of success in MotoGP. They've had some wins, I suppose you could say. Can Onju back in the day, Deniz Onju last year taking victory in the closest Moto2 finish of all time, but yet to kind of get to that premier class, to that MotoGP level. Toprak's coming in. We are going to have a lot of fun and games and a lot of success. Let's see how the Yamaha performs though. It's all okay me saying good things about Toprak. Yamaha, perhaps the manufacturer that it seemed had made the biggest step in winter testing last year, let's be honest. Didn't quite come to fruition. Fabio Quartararo had some outstanding rides, but they did just lack that cherry on top of the cake, and towards the end of the year it looked like it was getting more difficult each time. So obviously that was back with the inline 4. That's the big change this year, is a V4. You can see Toprak already playing to the camera. Jack Miller already finding him funny. So let's see whether or not there'll be any Turkish delights, I suppose. Let's see. Well, is Jack Miller trying it himself as well? We're going to get a lot of stoppie contests between the two of them this year, but I wasn't anticipating looking into this set, trying to make your eyes meet in the centre, but you know, who knows. I think they are getting ready now to head out on stage. Keep your comments coming in. Of course, it's not just about now, it's not just about Prima Pramac. We are back tomorrow, VR46, and indeed on Thursday. You can join myself for all of them. That's Aprilia on Thursday, so You know, don't go anywhere. We are literally back. MotoGP is so back this year. We are so back in Brazil. We are so back in terms of excitement. We are even faster, even more forward. And for sure, the riders are even more fearless than ever before. It is the most exciting sport on earth. That was a comment that came in earlier. It is a comment that I share a big sentiment with. What are they looking at? I hope they're watching the stream. I hope they're enjoying it, Toprak and Jack. It would be brilliant if they could get on stage, because I'm sure we'd rather see the bikes than you listen to me waffle on for much longer. But there seems to be maybe a small delay down there in Siena in Italy. Drop your comments in. What are Toprak and Jack looking at? What a season it is going to be, though. I am very, very... Oh, Team Stoppy Bros, indeed, that is what that team is going to be in 2026. And as I said, if there was one job you'd want in a paddock, it'd be working with these two this year, wouldn't it? It's going to be a barrel of laughs and a half. And the best thing about being part of the commentary team is that we do get to see all of the very best of the riders behind the scenes as well. You definitely need to stay tuned. If you're not already, subscribe, like, comment, follow all across MotoGP's social media handles, and make sure you enjoy 2026 like never before. Looks like they're still looking at the phone. There is a small delay, I can tell you, over there in Siena in Italy, but no problem. We've got until the end of February if need be. We are not going green for a while. Watching from Kenya, I'm really rooting for Pramac team this 2026. Greetings to you guys down there in Kenya. Not a country we visit, unfortunately, on the MotoGP calendar, but certainly a country I wouldn't mind spending a nice little holiday down there. But please do let us know where you're from. Let's see how many countries we can get in terms of viewership here in MotoGP for these team launches. We are a little bit behind schedule if you are just joining us. These are some highlights from back at the Valencia test at the end of the season. Jack Miller just heading out on that number 43 Prima Pramac Racing Yamaha. Of course, Prima Pramac, very different 2025 to how 2024 went. They came in, they took the title, an independent title with Jorge Martin. Left Ducati. Massive move away from Ducati. Yamaha were doubled in a way from their two factory machines to having two extras in the hands of the new Prima Pramac Yamaha squad. And yes, it didn't go quite to plan. Missed the podiums, missed the success, I suppose, that they were so used to in years gone by. But having Jack Miller and, as it was last year, Miguel Oliveira, very, I would say, very much a year of learning, very much a year of finding your feet, very much a year of building that relationship with Yamaha. So 2026 should be a lot better. Just in case you are wondering, from a Miguel Oliveira perspective, from a Portuguese perspective, Miguel Oliveira replaces Toprak over in BMW, where he's actually teammates with another ex-Pramac rider, Danilo Petrucci. So the BMW World Superbike squad, no more Michael van der Mark, obviously no more Toprak Razgatlioglu, but indeed it is Danilo Petrucci and Miguel Oliveira over there. That is going to be rather exciting. Just a few moments away, I believe, until we can cross live and you guys can enjoy all of the presentation that is about to unfold, and we will clap eyes on the first images, really, of the Prima Pramac MotoGP Yamaha squad for 2026. Jack Miller, of course, staying put, as I say. Toprak moving in. No change in the official team this year. That's still Fabio Quartararo and, of course, Alex Rins. So not too much movement in the factory teams, actually, going into 2026. These are some of the bigger changes. Toprak coming in. It's been a long time since someone came into World Superbike, from World Superbike. Around, in terms of a rookie, 15 years. Ben Spies, by my reckoning, was the last one to jump ship. Before that, probably James Toseland. So it has been a long time coming since we've seen someone make that shift out from the World Superbike paddock. And here, of course, we will no longer have that question of what if about Toprak, the same as we have that what if about Jonathan Rea, who never made the move over from the World Superbike fraternity. The most successful World Superbike rider of all time, well north of 100 wins and 6 world titles. He retired from full-time racing at the end of 2025. He is with Honda though, as an official test rider. Slight change at Honda for next year, by the way, in Superbikes. If you're wondering in Moto2 where Jake Dixon's gone, he's moved over. So Jake Dixon will be there. And of course, Somkiat Chantra, who was a rookie in MotoGP last year, he makes way and moves over to the factory Honda World Superbike outfit. Just to give you guys at home, in case you have been under a rock for some part of 2025's off-season, and indeed in 2025 itself, because this was all announced quite early and during and throughout 2025's racing season. If you're wondering where those names are, they've cleared off to World Superbike, but that is to make way for the likes of Toprak Razgatlioglu, one of 2 rookies this year, as I said earlier. Diogo Moreira, your reigning Moto2 world champion, joins the championship in MotoGP in the same year we're going back to Brazil on an ever-improving Honda. So many topics to come to you with throughout all of these team launches. Talking of which, I think we have got the first green lights of 2026, or at least it's coming very soon. I thought we were just about to go there, but obviously I've got a jump start, double long lap for me. But we will be crossing over to Siena very soon. It is starting to get underway, I can tell you. Keep your comments coming in. And it sounds like we're going to head over there now, because the ceremony, as you can see, is about to start. They're calling it the Symphony of Speed. Siena in Italy is the place. Toprak Razgatlioglu and Jack Miller are about to be unveiled. Let's cross over live.
Welcome, and in Turkish, hoş geldiniz.
She's Merve Toy,
And he is Zoran Flecic.
and it's a real pleasure to be here tonight and to be hosted by Accademia Chigiana in the beautiful city of Siena.
One more time, good evening to everyone joining us here in this extraordinary venue, and to those following us from all around the world via our live broadcast.
First of all, we would like to extend a sincere thank you to the talented students of Accademia Chigiana. Please an applause once again. For the wonderful classical concert that opened our evening, and for the Accademia hosting us tonight.
It was an amazing start, and just a few minutes ago, we looked back at a very special journey, the first 25 years of Pramac racing, a journey built on passion, innovation, determination, and an unwavering commitment to racing.
And those images remind us how far this team has come from its early steps in the paddock, far away, 25 years ago, to becoming a constant presence at the highest level of motorcycle racing.
And tonight, however, is not only celebrating the past, it's equally about the present and, of course, the future.
And we are here in this present to introduce the Prima Pramac Racing and Blue Crew Yamaha team presentation as we unveil the bikes and introduce the racing program for the upcoming 2026 season.
A season that also represents the continuation of an ambitious and exciting partnership with Yamaha, now entering its second year.
And with new challenges ahead, new riders to welcome, and a landmark anniversary to celebrate, tonight truly marks a defining moment for Pramac racing.
And Zoran, if you are ready to officially open this evening and to share his vision for the season ahead, it's now our great pleasure to invite on the stage the man who has led Pramac racing through this incredible 25 years journey.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the team principal of Pramac Racing, Paolo Campinotti. Paolo. You have the microphone, Paolo, yeah. Yes.
Paolo, once again, thank you for joining us on the stage. This season is clearly meaningful one for Pramac Racing, right?
That means 25 years of MotoGP World Championship, and it's not something that happens by chance. So let's talk a little bit about what this moment represents.
It seems yesterday that we start, and so 25 years is quite is a 1/4 century, so it's quite a lot. And we are really proud to be here still after 25 years with a new project that we are, let's say, embraced last year with Yamaha. So I think that it's for us it's very important now to this new chapter of our team.
2026 marks 25th year of Pramac Racing competing in MotoGP. When you look back in this journey, what does the milestone represent for you and for the team?
I think it's been, during the journey we didn't really think what is going to happen next. We have always tried to do our best every year, and step by step we have improved. We have improved the performance of the team. We have improved the team member. We have improved everything, and so now I think I'm very proud to say that we are one of the best teams in the grid.
And 25 years are a really long span of time and a lot of experience. You gained a lot of experience as a team in those quarter century, let's say. And how this history and this experience is influencing the beginning of a new chapter, new season.
I think now, for sure we are much more experienced. We know much better what we are going to do, and I think we are very committed to the new project with Yamaha. I think Yamaha and us, we are very keen on make the Yamaha performance back again as it should be, and so we are really dedicated to this mission.
As you mentioned, this is also your second year in an ambitious partnership with Yamaha. What is the mindset of the team as you enter this next phase of the project?
When we start the project with Yamaha, I think Yamaha has the same ambition than us to bring the Yamaha at the top of the grid again. So we are only be part of this journey. There is a fantastic team of people. They are really motivated to do that. So I think it's just a matter of time. Soon we will see the result.
And Paolo, on the sporting side, the 2026 also brings us important developments, and you're welcome with a new rider on the team, and you're also continuing with some familiar faces.
I think for sure there is Jack. Jack, it's for us. It's part of the family. It's been with us many years. He's a great guy. It's a very strong talent. Unfortunately, he didn't show yet his real potential, and I hope that soon he can show what really can do. For the other hand, we are welcoming Toprak. That is, it's for sure for him it will be the first year in MotoGP, but in Superbike he has proven that he's by far the best rider in the grid. So I'm sure that it will be in the same performance in MotoGP. I have no doubt.
We are all hoping the same. Paolo, behind every successful long-term project, there is also stability, trust, and shared values.
And there's a partner, a big partner, who has been an integral part of Pramac Racing journey in recent years.
And
it's George, the CEO of Prima, and also the name Prima Pramac is always a good name to continue to be Primi. So I think I welcome George on the stage.
Hello, George. Welcome.
Thank you, Paolo.
And welcome, George.
Hello, everyone. Good evening, everyone.
And my first question, having you two on stage, is to Paolo Campinotti. And Paolo, how important is the continued support of Prima Assicurazioni for Pramac Racing team as you build for the future?
I think the relationship that we have created is not only, let's say, a relationship of sponsorship, but it's really George and this team is part integrated of the team, and if we have reached this result, it's also thanks to their support, to their help that they have given to everybody, and I think that is the good story to say that Prima grown as a company when I started to work, with the partnership with us, and you did the same as a result with the racing. So I think from our side, we are very happy, and we hope to continue many years.
George, 2026 is a special season for Pramac Racing, for sure, especially coinciding with the team's 25th anniversary. How does it feel for Prima Assicurazioni to stand alongside the team during such an important milestone?
It has been a mix of great emotions for 5 years now. Looking at this video that we showed at the beginning, I was telling also Gino that it gives me goosebumps because we have been through many races, but also outside the races. We have shared a lot of things, and it's not only me and Paolo, but it's also the broader team. So our partners, our agents. So we really created like a very strong relationship, and so we are very happy to be here today to celebrate with them this 25th anniversary.
And you had already experienced together big achievements. And what does achievements means to Prima Assicurazioni?
Well, for us, it's as Paolo mentioned, we combine the achievements in the races together with big achievements also for us as a company. When we announced the deal, we had 3 million customers. Now we have 5. Again, Paolo says all his merit. We say, so maybe yes, maybe yes.
This is fact.
So there is a long debate between the two of us. If it's the Prima naming that give the boost to the MotoGP team or the other way around. But so again, it's a double success that we wish will be continued in the future.
For sure.
To George again, now we can say that new chapter is being written together with Yamaha. How do you see this new challenge from Prima Assicurazioni's point of view?
No, it is a challenge. It's clear, but we see how the teams work, the stamina they have, the motivation, the enthusiasm, even in tough times. And it's not a coincidence that we won so much in the past, and that this is the business card that shows that we are able to win again in the future. So we are very confident, and we are again very happy to be here and looking forward to see the bikes.
With you. Thank you, George.
Thank you very much.
Paolo.
Thank you, Paolo.
Tu rimani.
Oh. A strong partnership, a shared vision, and a season full of ambition. This is the foundation on which the 2026 campaign is built. And one more time, thank you to George, and sharing Prima Assicurazioni's vision and continued commitment. One more time, thank you.
Thank you.
And Zoran.
And now, as we continue this journey, it's time to bring Yamaha into the conversation. So please welcome to the stage the Manager Director of Yamaha Motor Racing, Paolo Pavesio. It's great because Paolo is taking care about the microphones, about the stage, about everything.
To our new guest, Paolo. From Yamaha's perspective, how important is Prima Pramac Yamaha MotoGP project within your overall factory racing strategy?
Of course, as we said already, quite some time is very important. When I was also watching the video in the beginning of this very special evening, I was, of course, I know already how successful they've been, but it was impressive to see it all together in a short showreel. This is bringing value to the Yamaha project. This is bringing to me positive pressure to help the team to be back soon on where they've been already, as we have the pressure we like to put on ourselves to bring the brand back to where it has to be. But also I heard already about this concept of shared values, and this is for me another very important part of this new relation we have been starting last year. We really feel very close motivation, not only on the target to be there, but also on the way. We want to be there, putting human factor in the center of the project, building relations which are very instrumental in the difficult moment and will be even more enjoyable when we will achieve our target.
And the first year is gone, and now we are entering the second year. And the first year of this partnership laid important groundwork for sure, just entering and stepping into the second season. What this initial season allowed Yamaha and Pramac to build together, and what changes are existing as you enter year two?
Yeah, I think last year was very important, and I like maybe to spoil an example with Gino has been introduced in the last part of last season. We have put seeds of a very special plant, which is a bamboo. A bamboo is growing very slowly apparently because it's first growing in the ground. And this is what we have tried to do last year, to put a strong foundation in the ground. And this is the year where, yeah, we will change things. You have a complete new bike under this cover. We have renewed 50% of the rider lineup, but for me also very important is the continuity of the project. And from this perspective, continuity somehow on the riders, but also continuity on this building relation and connecting and learning each other better. We are here presenting the bikes. We have our colleagues which are in Japan building the bikes for next season. So this is really something which, while we work hard, I believe we are also enjoying on the human level. At least this is something I feel every day. We have a conversation, we have a discussion maybe, but it's good.
I love this metaphor with bamboo because usually
Grazie
the
Gino
people...
for the bamboo.
Oh, thank you, Gino, for the bamboo.
Gino is our guru. He's our guru. He's the guru of the bamboo.
All right, because deep roots are really strong, but also elastic, adaptable, because usually people is talking about the oak trees or something like that, but they are more fragile and compared to bamboo. Thank you, Gino. And then Paolo, from the team's point of view, how important is the shared approach with Yamaha as you move into the second year of the project?
As I said before, I mean, we have the first year was mainly a year where we have tried to know better each other. Mm-hmm. Now I think at every level of the team there is a very strong trust, and I'm sure that, as you say, Paolo, the technical team, at every level we are working quite well. So I'm sure that the result will come.
We're waiting for it.
And to Paolo Pavesio, as you mentioned, continuity is often crucial in long-term projects. How important is Jack Miller's presence as part of this second year?
It's super important, of course. It was one of the nice things of last year for sure was to get to know at personal level Jack, because he's a fast rider and this is known, but he's also, I think, a special person, which is also sharing this strong team spirit which we feel. So I'm really looking forward to see him on the second year on a completely new bike, but the experience he has on already V4 configuration will be very instrumental to the project. And I also think, I mean, I am in motorsport since many years now. I have seen rarely a rider which is also such a very special teammate. So I'm really looking forward to start again working with Jack.
And Paolo, at the very same time, there's an exciting new chapter now for the team with the arrival of Toprak Razgatlioglu. And how does Yamaha view this step, and what should we expect for his first season in MotoGP?
Yeah, I think for Yamaha, Toprak is a kind of comeback. As everybody knows, he was already with us for 4 very special years in Superbike. We won a title together. He's still today most victorious Yamaha rider in Superbike. Already in 22, we were discussing with him and his manager about one day we need to bring his talent in MotoGP. It took a bit longer than expected, but I'm very happy that we could manage. I think he's more ready than ever. The couple of years he got on a different machine in Superbike has helped him to also grow more, and I'm pretty impressed on the way I found him after 2 years we were not working together, and I'm sure he will bring energy, enthusiasm. However, 26 is a year where we all know, he knows very well, we need to grow step by step. He needs to learn the new category, the new way of working, a new team, a completely new machine. And this is what I expect to see, a growing season for him, and looking forward, as I said, to see him and Jack riding and racing together.
Will be an interesting couple of riders.
Good stopping competition, I imagine, as well.
Thank you, Paolo. Thank you, Paolo. Thank you, all the Paolos with us on the stage. And now we would like you to stay on the stage with us, please. And now that we have heard from Yamaha's perspective to 2026 projects, and now it's time to learn about the team side vision for this second year. Please welcome on stage Gino Borsoi, Team Director of Prima Pramac Yamaha MotoGP.
Okay, I would just ask you to step forward a little bit forward. It's incredible how you are shy on stage, but how they're aggressive then on the racetrack. But this is the most important moment, right, Gino? And it's great to have you here, really, thank you. We are excited to hear how the team is approaching for the fresh season alongside Yamaha, and with the new riders and with an updated bike.
Well, honestly speaking, we are so exciting because it's a new chapter for all of us, not only from Pramac, even for Yamaha with the new project getting into the paddock. It's a kind of, let's say, a revolution for all of us, and I really hope we can give our effort, our tips to grow up this project in a really short time.
And Gino, the second year of this partnership coincides with a major shift in Yamaha's technical philosophy. How is the team preparing for this new technical approach?
Well, for sure, it will be not easy, as everybody knows. The new project is, as I said before, a new chapter. It's an incredible effort from Yamaha. And we want to support Yamaha as always we did last year, and now we have also, let's say, a great potential to show our point of view to Yamaha, to help them to grow up in a really short time. And let's see what's going on, but it's important for all of us to really go fast in the development of the bike, because we know that Yamaha is one of the best factory in the world, and we want to show this fast, let's say, power that we have in our hand.
And Gino, talking about the riders, the new season brings back Jack, but also introduces Toprak. So how this impact is impacting the team towards the new season?
Well, first of all, I have to say that I'm really happy to have this kind of guy in my garage, because they are the perfect teammate. They have already a great relationship between them, and this is good for us. This is good for the atmosphere of the team. And we have two different tasks. One with Jack, and unfortunately we have Jack in our garage because he has a lot of talent. Of course, everybody knows, but also he has a lot of experience on our paddock, and he knows the V4 engine from the previous factory and through the career on the MotoGP. On the other hand, it's a great challenge. Turkish rider, first time in the history of the MotoGP. Everybody knows his big talent. He showed an incredible fastest potential last year in Superbike, but from my point of view, he can do also a big step in a really short time in our MotoGP paddock. So it's exciting. I'm happy to be here. It's a pleasure to have this opportunity in the team. So just wait a bit, but we can show great results for sure.
How will they contribute to the team's progress, you think?
Well, as I said before, Jack is a great and big value. And on the other hand, also it's nice to have this kind of different rider, one with experience and one without, because we can learn from both of them and improve the bike in a really short time.
Okay, that's great. And it's great, as everyone knows about Jack, and as a lot of us knows about Toprak, I have to say, really you said a perfect teammate, because Toprak is a perfect teammate. Jack has always been a perfect teammate. I have personally really great expectation for the team for this year. But finally, Gino, how do I will summarize the team's focus and concentration and determination for 2026?
Well, 2026, it's the key of our, let's say, project, because we start from zero. We as team and Yamaha as a new program. We know we have a lot of experience on our back. We show a great potential in the past, but our commitment is huge as Yamaha give it to us, all the effort, and for me, it's important. It's really important to help Yamaha as a team and Paolo also to come back one of the best factory in the world, and I hope also rev your heart again in the future.
Thank you, Gino, for that insightful overview. It's clear the team is fully aligned and motivated for the challenge ahead.
Okay, Paolo and Gino, you will stay here with us because now is the moment to move to the exciting part that everyone is waiting for, the bike unveilings for 2026. Of course, we are a team, we are a big team, and we will start with the Blue Crew Pramac Yamaha Moto2 team.
And it's time to shift focus to our Moto2 project, the Blue Crew Pramac Yamaha team for 2026.
And please welcome to stage the team manager, Alex De Angelis. No, adesso ti portiamo davanti, vieni qua, Alex, in first row.
Welcome. How do you feel about the team structure this year compared to last season?
I'm very excited about this season because we built a very strong base last year, so we are ready really to get at the top in this season. And I also did my experience, so I'm getting ready also, not only the rider, but all the team is ready to fight.
And the team is with a very talented young rider, Izan Guevara. What are your expectations for the season for him?
Izan is a former world champion, and he last year showed up that he's ready to win the race also in Moto2, and they get a lot of very nice results. So we expect from him to keep on growing and to become every weekend one of the best riders in this category.
And what about the new addition, Alberto Ferrandez? How will you support him in his transition to Moto2?
Alberto Ferrandez is very, very young, and we are really happy to have him with us. He has already 2 years of experience in Moto2, but in Junior GP, so he's a kind of a really young rider. But to help young riders to get very nice results is one of our targets, is our key. So it's also one of my strengths, so I will do my best to help him to get the best results as possible immediately, as the first season.
That's great. And so, talking clearly with this lineup and the team improvements, what is your objective for the 2026?
Objective is, of course, we want to be always among of the main team, and also we know that we know much better the bike, and also in every circuit, in every situation, we know much better Izan, especially. So I think we don't really miss anything to be always there in the top.
Right. I think it would be good to ask Paolo Campinotti this question. Paolo, from a team perspective, how important is the 2026 Moto2 project for Yamaha Pramac Racing?
For us, it's a new chapter. We started last year, and we have always struggled to have, the opportunity to have young riders, to know young riders sooner than MotoGP. So the Moto2 project for us, it's very important because it will allow us to have to start the relationship with the rider sooner, and so we can start to work with them, know better them, and see and make them ready for the MotoGP in a better way than taking from somewhere else.
And to Paolo Pavesi, how did Yamaha view the Blue Crew project in the context of its long-term racing strategy? Because we are talking about Moto2, of course, but it's a big team.
Yeah, this is a project which has been started almost 10 years ago. First from production racing. We have now more or less 1,000, I call them kids, in reality they are from 8 to 16, 17 years old, which are racing with us in motocross and production racing, normally on R3. And last year was important because we have arrived to the prototype paddock, to Moto2, just positioning this team as the ultimate dream for all the Blue Crew riders around the world, but also, as Paolo said, here is where we want to nurture our future MotoGP rider. I think it was a special moment last year in Valencia, not only because Izan won, but because on Tuesday he could ride the M1. few laps. And this is exactly the essence of what we are trying to build. The dream of, through a journey, through a process, through hard work, have the possibility to finally arrive there, where Pramac is the team which should welcome the most talented young Yamaha riders in the future. I think Ethan, be concentrated this year because you have a special opportunity, but in general, I think this is the philosophy of the project, and we're very happy to run this Blue Crew project together with Pramac again. It's an area where we feel a lot of common feeling.
And Gino, what is the team focus to Moto2 for this season?
Well, as everybody knows, last year we were able to finish the season in a really good way. The target starts from there. Of course, we know it's not easy. We know that there are a lot of good riders on Moto2, but we have, as everybody said, Ethan with a lot of experience now. He knows the team. We know him in a better way. So I really hope we can start from the last race, and then with the young rider. He's a talented rider. He will need time for sure. We need time to learn our pattern, but I'm pretty sure he will be on top pretty soon.
Thank you to all of you for all these insights, but now is the moment that all we were waiting for, the official reveal of the Blue Crew Pramac Yamaha Moto2 bike for 2026.
I would like to invite the legend of the MotoGP, Mr. Agostini, that he was the first champion with Yamaha, exactly after the Second World War. After finishing, he was.
Good evening, but I don't know why Paolo, he looking for some young rider and he asked me nothing. He don't offer me nothing. I don't know why. But anyway.
You're one of the youngest in the room.
maybe next year. Anyway, I have a very nice time with Yamaha because when I changed from Via Augusta and I decided to race for Yamaha, and I have a fantastic team and I have a fantastic bike, and he gave me the possibility to win another 2 world champions. So my heart is also with Yamaha. Grazie.
And Giacomo, grazie, and thank you for being with us here once again. Giacomo Agostini, please. Part of the big family, but now is the moment for the unveiling, Merve.
To help us with this special moment, please welcome to the stage the 2 riders who will be taking on this season, Izan Guevara and Alberto Ferrandez.
And right now, together with the team management and with Mr. Agostini, the riders will unveil the bike. You can also play. Oh, yeah. The Blue Crew Pramac Yamaha Moto2 bike for 2026 has been unveiled. And it's time to hear directly from the riders, Merve.
Yeah, Izan Guevara and Alberto Ferrandez, 2 talented riders, 2 different paths, united by the same goal. Let's start with Izan. Izan, this is your 2nd season with Blue Crew Pramac Yamaha team. After everything you experienced last year, how do you feel standing here today, and are you ready for 2026?
Yes, Oscar. I'm start my 2nd season with the Blue Crew Pramac Yamaha team. The last year I achieved good moments. I learned a lot and achieved good results, and that I help us build a strong base for this year. Today it doesn't feel like a new start. I like sorry, but I'm nervous. But I'm start with good feelings this year.
And you already know how is to work with the team, how is to win together. You already know the bike, and where come the most confidence heading into the new season? From which part?
Yeah, the last season I start with difficult moments, but now I understand the bike, I understand the team, and I finish the season with good victory in Valencia, and this is so important for everyone. And now the winter, I training hard every day for arriving in the best conditions in Thailand, and I want to thanks to Yamaha and Pramac for all the support on trusting me, and nothing. I can't wait to start the new season.
Thank you, Izan. And now a warm welcome to a new face in the team. Alberto, this is your first season in Moto2 World Championship. What does this opportunity represent for you at this stage of your career?
Yeah, for sure. I'm really happy to take on this new challenge of Moto2 World Championship. Yeah, it represents a very good opportunity for me, and a really good opportunity also for a good opportunity for continue growing as a rider. And yeah, I'm really happy with this new project for me, and yeah, be today here in front of all of you, it's a dream come true for me, for sure.
And what are your personal goals for this season, and what can the team expect from you for this season?
Well, so my goal this season is learn as much as possible, for sure. Work hard every day and try to help as much as I can to move close to the top with my teammate and with all the team. And well, I'm really grateful with this opportunity, and also with all the people who have supported me. And yes, I want to do my 100% all days.
And thank you, Izan. An applause. Thank you, Alberto. Two riders with talent, motivation, a clear hunger to grow. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you very much. Before we move to the MotoGP bike unveil, there is one more key partner who must be part of this moment for sure.
A partner whose name is proudly part of the team identity and who shares this ambitious MotoGP journey with Pramac and Yamaha. I said Pramac and Yamaha. Well, it's Pramac and Yamaha.
Please welcome back to the stage the CEO of Prima Pramac, George Osatical.
Okay, now we ask you just to move a little bit forward now, because we are approaching the MotoGP moment, and the first question goes to Paolo Campinotti, this time. We are now entering a very significant phase, 25 years of Pramac racing, because we are now talking about MotoGP, and the second year with Yamaha, and a new MotoGP challenge ahead. Why is this project so important for this team now?
Because, as I said before, it's after 25 years, and I think last year was probably our worst year, so we have to be back immediately in the place where we should stay.
And
right. Clear, sharp, straight. I heard you. I will not say, but I heard you, and I appreciate it.
I also heard. To George, Prima Pramac has chosen to stand alongside this project during a period of major transformation. What convinced you that this was the right challenge to take on together?
Yeah, because we had a lot of conversation with Paolo, with both Paolos, I would say, and so we got a lot of reassurance that there is a big effort put in the project, both from the team. Again, I discussed before about the motivation and the effort they are making, and again from Yamaha themselves. So we saw a lot of potential, and we see a lot of similarity. Again, as with the challenges that we take also as a company. You know, we were in our comfort zone when we were in Italy, then we moved abroad, and we moved to other products. So it's part of the life of the companies and also of the teams to continue to evolve and to take new challenges. I think it's part of the journey, and we felt that we were in the same, let's say, vibe with the team.
And Paolo Pavesi also, of course, was summarizing all the concept that we developed through the first part of the presentation. But again, to you, from Yamaha's point of view, how central is the Prima Pramac Yamaha MotoGP project within your overall racing strategy?
Yeah, it's again also what Paolo said. It's a very strategic part of our commitment, and our commitment is clear. We're working to be back. This is a fantastic sport, but it's also a sport where there is no magic. We are growing our bamboo, as I said before. We are putting effort, which I've never seen in my 25 years at Yamaha, in the project, through investment, through new people, through, for me, new open mindset, which is based on mixing culture, Japan, Italy, Europe, everywhere we have the best resources. We're putting into this challenge. We are enjoying it, and I'm sure last year we could already change an inertia because 25 was difficult, but better than 2024. And I'm sure in 26 we have a new bike which we're gonna see very soon, which has a lot more potential than the one we have said bye-bye at the end of the season last year. And this is where we want to start for, keep growing, and bring in the brand, and with the brand the team, and with the team the riders, where we like to be.
And Gino, from the team's operational perspective, what makes this second year with Yamaha different from the first?
Difference, of course, is different because we
It's
have a lot of things new. It's second year, honestly speaking, now we have a great relationship compared to the beginning of the last year, and we are happy for that. It's quite easy to work with them. I'm surprised because they bring us into the family in a really short time, and thanks to that we were able to get a nice result through the season of 2025, and now thanks to this relationship, I think, and collaboration, I think we can grow up really fast with a new bike, with a new chapter. For sure it will be not easy at the beginning because it's a really different, let's say, kind of bike that we have to, let's say, improve the performance. But thanks to the performance of our team and the way of thinking that we had in our mind, and the support of Yamaha, I'm pretty sure we can see our rider on top pretty soon.
Thank you, gentlemen. A clear vision, a shared commitment, and a strong partnership.
And Paolo, Gino, Giacomo, George, ladies and gentlemen, now is the moment we were waiting for.
Please welcome to the stage the riders who will take on the 2026 MotoGP season with Prima Pramac Yamaha.
Jack Miller
And Toprak Razgatlioglu.
And Jack and Toprak, we go directly to the unveiling. And now again is the moment. Another big applause. 3, 2, 1. And here he is. The Prima Pramac Yamaha colors in the 2026 MotoGP season with the riders, with Jack and Toprak. Please, another round of applause. Jack Miller.
Toprak Razgatlioglu.
And I will move on the other side. And Jack, if you can get a microphone. You're starting a new season, Jack, with the same crew. How important is that continuity in MotoGP?
Yeah, no, first of all, good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. No, I mean, it's awesome to be back with Pramac, with Yamaha. Obviously, a different concept this year with the new bike and everything, but no, really looking forward to it. Obviously, keeping the same crew and everything is going to be crucial throughout the stage. We spent a lot of the first half of last year getting to know each other, understanding everything, understanding the bike, and you know, at least we got that out of the way now, so we can focus solely on trying to develop the new V4.
The new V4, which is interesting, really.
Jack, last year was your first season with Yamaha. What did that year give you as a rider?
A lot of bumps and bruises, but hopefully this year we got a lot out of the way last year. But no, I mean, it was a great first year. I enjoyed it a lot. I enjoyed obviously working back with Pramac again, getting to see Paolo's smiley face every weekend. You know, makes me happy. But working with Yamaha has been a big pleasure, you know, to be so closely tied with the factory, working alongside them to try and improve the bike has been a lot of fun as a rider. Obviously, you have some difficult moments, but you have some also rewarding moments. So I think this year, you know, the rewarding moments will outweigh the difficult ones.
And Jack, you're not only a rider with bruises, but also a very experienced rider, a very talented rider, and a freestyle on some point of view, on my point of view, an exciting rider. But you already mentioned the V4, the V4. And how do you see this project?
No, I mean, it's an unreal undertaking from Yamaha, what they did throughout last year to develop this motorcycle alongside the current M1 at that point in time. You know, with the time constraints that we have with 22 rounds, I mean, they made miracles happen. And I believe, you know, we have a lot of busy days ahead of us throughout the preseason, trying to get this thing ready to fight by the time we get to Thailand.
And Toprak. Hayırlı olsun öncelikle. Today is a very special moment for you and for all Turkish people. What does it mean to join Prima Pramac Yamaha in MotoGP?
Yeah, I have a very special moment now. Finally, the dream has come true. And joining the Prima Pramac Yamaha MotoGP family, I'm very happy for this, and this is the right decision because the team and everyone is really warm. And every race weekend, I will try to my best. We will see this year, yeah.
And Toprak, you've already had your first test with sorry, we are in Siena, we are in Italy, I have to say it in Italian, YZR M1V4. Okay, so what are your initial impressions about it?
They're very positive because after Superbike, when I'm riding the MotoGP, it's a completely different bike, but especially the acceleration is incredible, and on the straight bike really fast. But I need the time for the adapt the bike and need to learn, and especially the tires, you know, I need the feeling the limit. But we will see. We have many time because we have many testing, especially in Malaysia. We have a 6-day test. And I hope we find the way, understand the bike, and need to adapt because this is completely different bike. I need just time.
What is your main objective for this first MotoGP season?
It's a not easy year for me because this is the really big challenge for me. And but the 26 maybe the learning year for me. But 27, maybe, you know, after the new rules, maybe we are fighting for the podium. But I don't know. We will see the 26th year because this is really important for me. I need to adapt the bike and also some track need to learn. But again, I say, you know, I will try to my best, like always, for the best. We will see because we are a big family and everyone try to best every year, every race weekend. Me too, also try to my best.
Merve, we were talking about Merve Toprak, and I will share with you because we were talking about there's a lot of excitement in Turkey for sure about this moment and this season, and I think this is you appreciate this for you guys in Turkey?
Yes, we are all so excited because Toprak is the first Turkish rider in MotoGP history. There are a lot of There are many Turkish people watching us tonight, and I would like to ask him, do you have any message to followers in Turkish? Maybe would you like to share some short message to your followers, to fans?
In this moment you can talk in Turkish, I mean. Why not? Please.
You sure?
Sure.
Türkçe nasıl bir mesaj vermek istersin buradan bizi izleyenlere eminim. Herkes çok heyecanlı bu akşam için.
Ya özellikle tabii ki de şu an çok önemli ve özel bir andayız. Ay yıldızlı bayrağımızı dünyanın her yerinde gururla en iyi şekilde temsil edeceğimiz için gerçekten çok mutluyum. Çünkü elimden gelenin en iyisini her zaman yapıyorum. Bizi destekleyen ve takip eden herkese çok teşekkür ederim. İnşallah bizim için 2026 ve 27 güzel bir yıl olur. Çünkü MotoGP'ye geldik. İlk Türk olarak MotoGP'de yarışıyoruz ama buraya hayatta gezmeye gelmedim. Elimden gelenin en iyisini yapmaya geldim. İnşallah elimizden gelenin en iyisini yapacağız. Teşekkür ederim. Thank you.
Teşekkürler. It was a little longer than I was expecting, so let me translate in a shorter way. He's telling that he will do his best as always for the people who support him specially, and he thanks to all the followers for the messages he got. Did I forget something? I don't know, but thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Two riders, one shared ambition. Ladies and gentlemen, Jack Miller
and Toprak Razgatlioglu.
and there is and Alberto as well. Please, can you just step in front? And Alex. And thank you for attending this presentation. Thanks for those who attended it from home. Here is the team. And another big round of applause. Welcome to the Symphony of Speed. Thank you and enjoy your evening.
Well, the first livery of 2026 then has had its covers ripped off. And, well, the beady-eyed among you will have seen there is at least 154 on a Pramac machine in 2026. But that is, of course, Alberto Ferrandis in Moto2. In MotoGP, it's all eyes on Jack Miller and Toprak Razgatlioglu. As you can see, lots of support coming in from around the world. Welcome El Turco. Lots of Australian flags with the lightning bolt as well. That's in support for Jack Miller. The livery itself, genuinely the same as last year. Maybe some tweaks here and some tweaks there. Nice to see Toprak has moved in to the Alpine Stars family. Of course, he was previously with Dainese, but Toprak now with Alpine Stars, just like Jack Miller, his teammates. We are going to be able to hear from them very, very soon. They just need to clear the stage, let the press get their pictures. But yeah, the livery rather similar to last year. We're going to see the moment it was unveiled again. You can see the number 43 and the number 7 there for Toprak. The Australian flag on the 43, a small Turkish flag on that number 7. Do you like the new Prima Pramac Yamaha MotoGP livery? Not a lot has changed. The shape of the bike is rather different, but we'll come on to more of that when we go testing in Sepang. But very, very interesting stuff indeed. In terms of the colour, I particularly don't mind the leathers. I've got to say, the leathers, that gradual fade up from blue to purple. Very, very nice indeed. A subtle change, but a nice one. The livery, as I say, very, very similar to last year. A nice mix of purple and blue. We are going to be hearing from both Jack Miller and Toprak Razgatlioglu very, very soon. Welcome to you all viewing from the Philippines, from Indonesia. I see there's plenty of support down there. Pretty livery, that sits in from Udit Pandi 05. Thank you very much for that. I quite like it as well. Toprak's livery looks retro. Great. Don't mind it myself. I've got to say, though, don't confuse the 54 on the Moto2 bike. That livery, for me, looks rather retro, the blue and the white of Yamahas in previous years. I do like both, I've got to say. The MotoGP one, very different to anything we've seen before. Prima Pramac, obviously, from 2024. Well, 2024, but more so 2025. Really embracing that purple. Jack Attack and Toprak, very good indeed. Thank you for that, Steve Collins. Looking forward to seeing who can pull off the best stoppie throughout to what is going to be an iconic 2026 season. Do your best this year and bring us a good racing. Well, I'll try my best, but I definitely can't do that. I think they are definitely talking to the fans, to the riders down there. The fans, of course, having their say on what is the first livery of 2026, all done and dusted. We will, of course, be bringing you plenty more throughout the forthcoming couple of weeks. Do you like the new Prima Pramac Yamaha MotoGP livery? 83% saying yes, that's not a shock. 17% saying no. What is wrong with it? Let us know. What don't you like? What would you improve? How can it be better? As long as it looks quick and as long as it is quick, that's the main thing, of course, going ahead into racing itself in 2026. We had quite a long presentation. We saw both Ethan Guevara and Alberto Ferrandis from Moto2. We heard from the CEO of Prima itself. We've heard from Paolo Campanotti. Great to see Giacomo Agostini on the stage for Pramac's 25th anniversary racing season. Of course, Giacomo Agostini previously a double world champion in MotoGP with Yamaha. Of course, before the season does get underway, make sure you get your name on the flag, be part of the 2026 action. Head to MotoGP Authentics, where you can find all that and more, and get your piece of history purchased, sourced and bought, and make sure it is ready to be flown high by the time 2026 goes green in just a few weeks' time. That's over at MotoGP Authentics, where you can pick up some amazing merch, and I've got to say, some of it does look pretty neat and tidy. We are getting ready to hear from Toprak Razgatlioglu and Jack Miller. Chris Jordan is still over there holding firm, I'm sure, in Siena. We are coming towards the end of the show. Keep your comments coming in, though. I love the purple on the Prima Pramac bike. It's so lit. I need a translation for what that means. Don't really understand the youth of today's speak. Understand that, though. Prima Pramac, blue love heart, purple love heart. Really, really, really good stuff. I've got to say, I'm a big fan of the livery. It might well be very, very similar to last year, but it was good anyway. Toprak will show his class right from the first race. He will indeed. Toprak gets underway in his MotoGP career over in Buriram. It's a track he knows from his World Superbike days, having raced there in 2018 and 2019. And it has been a long time. The track obviously unchanged, but he doesn't know it on Michelin's. I like Jack's helmet. Very, very similar to last year. I do like it indeed. Jack Miller, of course, always full of charisma and style, whether that's on track or if that is in his own designs, particularly when we head down under to Australia. Always great to see what the home rider has to unveil down under on the island. Do, as I say, keep your comments flooding in. Thank you to CT Nads for that one coming in via YouTube, where hopefully you're still with us and enjoying the show so far. We got underway around 6:15, so we are now at 7:15 local time. More on that later. This is the first interview of Toprak Razgatlioglu as a MotoGP rider. Chris, over to you.
Toprak, it's so wonderful to finally see you in some MotoGP colours here. You've got the leathers, we now know what the bike looks like. How happy are you with today's presentation? And then looking ahead to the season, how much are you looking forward to just getting underway?
I'm really happy, and also this is a really special moment for me because I make a really big dream for the MotoGP. Finally, I'm here, and I'm very happy for this. And also the team and everyone is really warm. This is good because I feel like the feel positive, you know, everything. And yeah, we are ready to the season. Okay, for me it's a really hard season because the MotoGP bike for me is the first time, and after Superbike especially I feel completely different. But I will try to my best.
You mentioned that it's been pretty easy settling into the team so far. Of course, Jack is on the other side of the box to you this year. How's that relationship been developing? Has he taken a mentorship role with you? And of course, we saw you backstage sharing a lot of laughs, so it looks quite positive so far.
And especially with the Jack, he's a really good teammate. He's very funny. This is good, and I understand we are working together a lot. And for the development side, and it's a good one, you know, when I did the test, and everyone, you know, listening me. This is very important. And okay, I'm not really experienced with the MotoGP bike, but I feeling, you know, I'm directly to explain the team, and everyone try to find the way, and this is really good. And for the Malaysia, I think we are improve a lot because we have a 6-day test, and also the Yamaha brings some new things, but we will see. You know, this is the first year for me, and we need to try maybe the many things because. If I'm riding Superbike, everything is easy, but MotoGP completely different. Everyone asking me this question: the Superbike and MotoGP, how is it different, you know? But I say it's completely different, everything, and especially tires. You know, the tires, I need to adapt this tire. But anyway, you know, we have a time, and I will test everything and try to find the way for the fast riding. We will see all together, you know.
You've already answered my next question about how are you adapting and how are things different to SBK, so I'll change it a little bit. With the experience you have so far on the M1, do you think you can bring that style that we saw on World SBK, your riding style, to the Yamaha and MotoGP?
Yeah, this is very important. I need to bring also my style, but maybe this year not. But next year, I think the 90%, because I understand the bike, the style. You know, if you are riding like my style, some track bike not working, but sometimes you need the more corner speed. But that time, I need to change a little bit my riding style, and I need to make a mix. But we will see. You know, I'm easy to say now, but the riding style. Try to change this is not easy, but for 2027 I think that year I'm riding like my style. I believe this, but we will see again.
And just one final question in terms of the development side.
I think we've just lost Chris Jordan right at the pinch point. It caught me off guard, as I'm sure you saw. I didn't know if it was my screen in front of me or if it was indeed the signal. But apologies to Chris and Toprak. We're going to have to cut in there. Really interesting what Toprak was saying there. 2026 not going to be the year we see that hard braking front end stoppy style. It is going to be 2027 where perhaps more of that comes in to play. That's because we have a huge change of regulations for 2027. Toprak for sure is in MotoGP for next year. If he goes well this year in 2026, next year I mean 2026, if he is indeed competitive, we'll be looking to be on a factory bike. That's going to be absolutely important, looking towards that 2027, because the regs do change, and that is going to be a big year for a reset. Toprak, we love you, and thank you so much for support to Turkey. Indeed, Toprak Razgatlioglu indeed has a massive following in Turkey and the surrounding countries, I've got to say, not just in Turkey. but all around that region, across the bridges of Europe and Asia, he is very, very popular, very, very much a household name. So I'm very, very excited to see exactly what Toprak can do. Very interesting, he was saying about the riding style, and it isn't easy to change it. He's going to have to for this year. That's because he's on all kinds of different tyres. He's on Michelin's, of course. He's going to be on a V4 for the first time. He's going to be racing at tracks that he's arguably never seen. He has done a test day at somewhere like Kota, for example, but never raced there. So Toprak, well, I say never raced a big bike there. I think he did a Red Bull Rookies round there back in 2013. On top of that, you've got the fact that MotoGP is ever-changing. Even in the last year of the current regulations, I think we're still going to see tiny upgrades throughout this season in various aspects. Toprak is going to have to adapt to them quickly, but I see no reason why Toprak can't actually adapt very, very quickly. On the other side of the box, Jack Miller, humorous as ever, saying that in a question responding to what did 2025 give you? A lot of knocks and bruises. It's fair to say Jack Miller, he'd have wanted more from 2025, but he didn't have a terrible season, I don't think. When you look at the fact that the Yamaha was in its last last hurrah, in terms of the inline four, you look at he didn't have a consistent teammate right the way through the year because Miguel Oliveira got injured at the very start. Alex Rins wasn't very competitive. His highlight of the season arguably was when he was fighting for the podium over in Indonesia. Fabio Quartararo is the outlier on the Yamaha and probably would have had a Grand Prix victory over in Silverstone had it not been for a ride height device failure. Jack obviously still adapting to the Yamaha, and as much as it is comfortable for him, it hasn't yet quite delivered anything close towards a podium. Probably would have had one in Le Mans had he not fallen off. He had a top 5, of course, over in Kota. But Miller has that V4 experience. This is something we touched on earlier. If you are just joining us for the first time, keep your comments coming in. Jack is a top dude. That I can absolutely confirm. Jack Miller is an absolute riot. He's fantastic. JM43, lots of Australian flags following. Good to see the support coming in. Those of you who are watching, of course, will see that is Andrea Dovizioso, who, of course, previously rode and raced for Yamaha back in around 2012, teammates to Cal Crutchlow, now one of the official test riders. As we continue to look at Jack Miller, some shots from when the sun was shining over in Valencia at the Ricardo Tormo circuit just a couple of days after the final curtain fell on what was a magnificent 2025 season. Going to have another look at the livery. This is, of course, the testing, if you prefer, testing livery back in November. We're now going to see the moment it was unveiled. Do you like the new Prima Pramac Yamaha MotoGP livery? Now, a quarter of you not saying that you do like it, but 3/4 of you, which is a majority, 75%, saying you do like it. I'm a big fan. I really like the subtle changes. It's far more, feels more integrated in a way. The way the blue and the purple mix together, particularly on the leathers on the front of the bike as well, on the front fairing. I'm a big fan. I'm quite a fan of Miller's crash helmet as well. Nice touch of purple on that. We are waiting to hear from the Australian himself and get to have a listen to what he's got to say. Chris Jordan will be, I'm sure, ready and waiting very, very soon. We heard from Gino Borsoi and Paolo Pavezio actually in the live presentation itself. That's quite interesting. For those of you who don't know, Paolo Pavezio is actually part of the Yamaha World Superbike family for a little bit and knows Toprak pretty well, it's got to be said. So Paolo Pavezio and Toprak have an existing relationship as Toprak gets ready for his first year in MotoGP. That's important because some of Toprak's closest people that have been with him through quite a lot of his career in World Superbike, such as Phil Marron, do not follow him over to that Prima Pramac journey. His crew chief for 2026 will be Alberto Giribiola. Phil Marin does move to MotoGP, but that is with Brad Binder. So Toprak is a rider who likes familiarity, he likes his comforts, he likes his environment, his people. That's going to be another challenge. He's actually working with a completely different group of people. But of course, Phil Marin coming over for the 2026 season. Who'd bet against them reuniting at some point in the near future in MotoGP? It's hammer time. Toprak's first test will shock everyone. Let's wait and see. Testing not that far away now. We have the shakedown test at Sepang, followed by the official test, and then there's the second official test coming at Buriram in Thailand just before we go green at the end of the February. I think we are 27th, 28th, and the 1st of March is your race day, I believe, your Grand Prix Sunday. The Buriram test takes place the weekend before, the same weekend as World Superbikes kickstart the motorsport season. That's down under in Phillip Island. That grid looking very different without Toprak there for 2026. Keep your comments flooding in. Thank you so much for engaging with us throughout the last hour and a half. It has been an absolute pleasure to welcome you guys for the first real bit of live coverage of 2026. We have broken out of our winter hibernation and we are gearing up now for the first lights out in the season. That comes, as I said, at the end of February. We then go to Brazil, America and Qatar, and then the European season starts. And some tracks Toprak will know, others he will be very much relying on Jack Miller and his experience at the places such as Le Mans, the Saxon Ring. Toprak does know Brno. He'll obviously know Balaton Park. But there are some that he will need a little bit of time just to get a bit used to. And obviously, knowing what a racetrack on a superbike is one thing, knowing it, learning it, mastering its craft on a MotoGP bike, very much something else. More about Toprak in a little while. So over to his teammate Jack Miller, who I believe is live, ready and waiting with our very own Chris Jordan. We're gearing up just to head back over to this symphony of speed in Siena. Indeed, we are there. Jack Miller ready and waiting. Chris, over to you.
Jack, presentation now is done. First and foremost, how did you find the presentation? How do you find the new bike, the new look, and how was your off-season?
I mean, the presentation, couldn't get any more Italian. Beautiful historic building here with the motorcycles inside. It's very elegant, very Paolo Campanotti. But feeling good. Looking forward to the new season. Been busy off season, very short off season, but I've been enjoying it. Being back home, being able to get out on the bicycle, spend a lot of time on that. Just a lot of time in the gym trying to get ready, doing the maintenance like you do throughout the off season. But I changed things up this year a little bit, working with a new trainer, and feeling good. So looking forward to the season to come.
Looking ahead then to the season opener, that I think is going to be your 200th appearance in MotoGP. So it makes you one of the veterans of the class. Now with Pramac, you've got a rookie beside you, albeit a 3-time World SBK champion. How do you see your relationship developing so far, and are you going to take up a mentorship role with Toprak?
He don't need a mentor, I don't think, but and he's got plenty of that in Keenan. But no, good, absolute legend of a bloke. We've had a great couple of days here. Getting to know each other away from the track, away from, sort of people. It's been nice to get to know him as a person. I'm really looking forward to this year. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Pramac's generally known for being quite a family-oriented team, and Toprak really embraces that sort of atmosphere. So I think it's going to be an awesome addition to the team, and really looking forward to the year ahead with him and seeing, obviously, first and foremost how I get on, but also watching his progression and seeing how he adapts. It's going to be awesome to have another really, really extremely talented and fast rider on the motorcycle as well. So some more data for us to be able to try and study and look at.
Perfect. And then just looking ahead to your season itself, of course, Yamaha are switching over to the V4. The majority of your appearances in MotoGP have been on that V4. Are you going to be taking a more central role in terms of the development of the M1 in the year ahead?
we'll see how things shape up. Obviously, having a lot of experience on the V4, for sure, there's some things that can be touched at, as well as, but at the end of the day, we're going racing, and the idea is trying to make it go as quick as possible throughout the race weekend. We're very fortunate with the extra test days with the concession, so, hopefully we can iron out a lot of the, let's say, large details throughout that, and obviously there'll be a lot of development going on throughout the season to try and, keep the bike updating the bike. We'll try and be as clear and precise as we have been throughout the initial testing stages on this thing, and looking forward to seeing what it can do in anger come Thailand.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Jack, and good luck for the season ahead.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Jack Miller, ready and waiting for 2026 to fire up into life. Got to say, Jack Miller, very, very clear that Toprak's going to need no tips from his side of the box, but he is absolutely correct. That Prima Pramac Yamaha family really is a family. As you can see, your MotoGP app, get it downloaded. It is your trackside companion. It's also the best tool you can have on your sofa. Every race live and on demand, as well as circuit mode when you are here at the track. Wherever you are around the world, the MotoGP app is your #1 MotoGP companion to enhance your MotoGP experience. The world's most exciting sport, the most exciting sport on earth. And the app really does emphasise that. I heard from Jack Miller just then, very much gearing up for 2026. Interesting response to Chris's question about whether or not he's going to take that central development role because of his past experience with V4 engine configurations or not. I think Jack responded really well. The goal is always, particularly for a full-time race rider, to be as fast as possible throughout the weekend whilst also making progress and developing. So it is very much not a balance, it's very much a two-pronged approach from Miller, who, don't forget, has this year on his contract. It does all change anyway, right the way up and down the order on the MotoGP grid for 2027. But Jack Miller, very, very much getting ready for that first outing. We are going to join Chris Jordan live in Siena one final time for some closing thoughts. Chris, all yours.
Yeah, thanks very much, Kiko. We've had our connectivity issues today, but it has been a heck of a show here in Siena. Prima Pramac Racing are ready to go for 2026. We've seen Toprak raring to go. He's given himself a little bit of a timeline for his first season here. Ready to adapt, but there's a sneaky feeling, I think a few of us have it, Kiko, that he is out to impress in his debut season, and he'll certainly have one or two outings where he'll need to be kept an eye on. Then, of course, we have Jack Miller, the experienced pro within the garage. He'll be there should Toprak need anything, but Miller, of course, has 1 year left on his contract. He will be fighting for his future over the next 12 or so months. So Miller has been in this situation before, and we've seen him succeed time and time again, and he should prove crucial to Yamaha as they develop the V4. But we're going to leave it at that, Kiko, because it's been a long day here, and I'm sure it's been a longer day back in Barcelona. So back to you, Kiko.
Thank you, Chris, very much indeed. Enjoyed that one. Make sure you get back home safe to MotoGP HQ. We look forward to welcoming you back. You'll be able to join Chris as well as many others throughout the course of these MotoGP team launches. Talking of team launches, we'll have the season launch. And then we're into this. Look at how good that looks. Thailand, Brazil, the United States of America and Qatar. An opening flyaway foursome. Fantastic before we start in Jerez in Spain for Europe. Le Mans, Barcelona back in May this time. Mugello at the end of that month. Then we're Hungary, Czech Republic, Assen the final weekend of June. Can only mean one thing. The Sachsenring bookends the first European part. The British GP moved back into our summer now, this time the 7th to the 9th of August at Silverstone. Another couple of weeks off there. Big old summer break for MotoGP this year. Aragon, Misano, Austria. They're your final 3 European rounds before we all head east. Japan, Indonesia, Australia and Malaysia. We're back in Europe to cap off another season of 22 events. Portugal and Valencia in Spain, our final 2 event of 2026, very much like 2025. It is the 25th anniversary of Prima Pramac Racing, of Pramac from the very start, but of course Prima Pramac as it is now. It has been a fantastic team launch. Thank you very much for joining myself, Kiko Giles, and the rest of us here at MotoGP HQ. Those of them in Siena in Italy as well. We're going to leave you with this. See you at the next one.
Is on course for his first ever MotoGP podium. Koto Tamada, what a performance. Max Biaggi takes the victory then. What a result. Koto Tamada returns home with a victory. It's Alex Barros who finishes in 3rd place. Shanghai Grand Prix circuit here in China. Tony Elias takes 2nd place. What a ride by him. Welcome back to MotoGP here in Qatar. Nation of Sparta.
Loris Capirossi, I think, setting up the fireworks. Grazie, Loris. Thanks, Loris.
You know, back around the outside of Dovizioso.
Petrucci has put that Pramac Ducati up into 3rd place. Great 2nd place for Danilo Petrucci.
Scott Reddy, what a late charge from the British riders.
And Danilo Petrucci, what a brilliant career first podium for him in 3rd place. The strangest start you'll ever see. Jack Miller gets away. Miller takes his first podium since Assen 2016.
Jack Miller's in 3rd place. What a result for the Australian.
Agnaio, take a bow. With a broken leg, he's 2nd.
Outstanding ride by Jorge Martin.
They don't call him the Martinator for nothing. Jorge Martin is a MotoGP winner.
It's going to be 2 Prima Pramac Ducatis on the podium. 2nd place goes to Jorge Martin. 3rd place goes to Johan Zarco. What a day for Prima Pramac Racing, a double podium.
Oh, they touch, they come online side by side.
Oh, inches in it. How close was that?
Martin is the Mazzano maestro in MotoGP.
The Flying Frenchman is a MotoGP winner.
Martin completes the dream treble in Thailand.
It's a race win for Jorge Martin. It is pure magic from Jorge Martin.
Oh no, Jorge Martin's crashed out.
Does anybody want to win this year's MotoGP World Championship? Jorge Martin, he is the master of Mandalika.
Martin with the element of surprise. He had the big shake. Bagnaia back at the front.
Here comes Martin once again on the inside.
Bagnaia's going to come to the inside line. Martin and Bagnaia. Oh, they go side by side. Jorge Martin is the 2024 MotoGP World Champion. Comes across the line, his first podium.